Hello and welcome to a Pioneer video. For a while I've been really struggling in this format because I just could not find anything that I found interesting or appealing or anything like that. But lately I've actually been in a little bit of a kick, and I've been finding two decks in particular that I find very, very interesting. Actually three. One of them is the Colossus deck that I tried in a couple of leagues in this very channel, so you can check those out. And what this is another deck that I've been working on for maybe like 2 months or something, and I've been working it like a little bit on the in the dark side, you know, like you have not really seen much of the development that's going on with it. And this is a combo deck that, if you're following the channel for a minute, you probably have seen me tinker with. I tried versions with Bring to Light. I arrived at the conclusion that the best possible version was with Collected Company. And what this deck does is, this is straight up a combo deck. This is a deck that wins the vast majority of the matches, and I should say just all of them, through comboing off. So what is the combo, you may ask? So you have Birgi, which we have very small there, he's a little bit larger. So whenever you cast a spell, you add red mana, and until end of turn, you don't lose this mana on step and phases. Creatures you control can boast twice during each of your turns rather than once. Literally cannot come up, so that line of text doesn't matter at all. So what it goes on is you net mana every time you play a spell, which means that if you play Green Ignis, which is a weird card from Future Sight that was reprinted in Strixhaven, and it's a 3 mana 2/2 that you can pay a red mana, and you add a colorless red to your mana pool. So effectively you can bounce and replay Green Ignis infinitely. Like, it is actually an infinite loop. What do we do with this? Well, there's a couple of things that we can go about it. Green Ignis is conveniently an elemental, so we can actually use a Risen Reef as a way to draw our entire deck. We can also use Prosperous Innkeeper, if we have it in play, to actually gain infinite life. We can use a Runaway Stimkin to net infinite red mana. And then if we have access to Witty Roastmaster, we can actually ping our opponent to death. Like, infinite pings is the win condition that I'm choosing to play. I think this is the cleanest win condition. I've seen other lists playing stuff like Banefire. I also tried personally Terror of the Peaks and Cavalier of like Flame. I think that's the red Cavalier. And I've also seen a lot of people playing Valet something, which is like it's a 1/3 that just, like, every time a creature ETBs, you double its power and it has trample. But all of those win conditions are either A, very clunky, or B, it requires you to attack, so you cannot set up bluffs. Which is something that I find myself doing fairly often, like winning on the second main phase. You know, like you're particularly playing against something like Control, you are sort of like making a weird attack, your opponent's forced to interact, and then you, on the second main phase, you just play the Roastmaster and you just roast your opponent out of the game. So because of that, I think that this is the cleanest win condition, and I don't think I've seen literally anybody playing this as a win condition, which surprises me a lot. But in any case, these are all the options. Another card that I've not seen anybody play is Slifkin Druid. And I've seen a lot of people complain about how bad the mono-red matchup is for this deck. And my experience has been that when you have 0-3s, all of a sudden, when your opponent has a bunch of 2-power creatures and you can block them for free, your mono-red matchup becomes a lot better. Who would have thought? And not only that, but like the fact that this nets 2 mana happens very, very often. It's extremely easy to enable with Collected Company, and then you are effectively doubling your mana producing creatures. I tried playing more Elvish Mystics instead, but all of that added to the fact that it's an elemental. So when you know, of a Collected Company, oftentimes you will find something like Risen Reef plus Slifkin Druid, and like you draw 2 cards out of that exchange, as opposed to, you know, Risen Reef plus like a Danaware of, like, you're 1 card behind in that exchange when that happens. So those are like the reasons why I like Slifkin Druid a lot. And the last piece of tech is Hazoret's Monument. I've seen a lot of people playing 4 copies of this card. I think that's just bad, because like the card is pretty bad overall. Like it's only very good in specific matchups where you can play this out, and then like against decks with sweepers where you can, this is part of your combo, or it allows you to get towards your combo, but it's not easy for your opponent to interact with. But Hazardous Monuments allows you to have some very, very strong turns out of nowhere. So then we have Boseiju, and then a bunch of blue, green, and red lands. The mana base is something that I've been working on a lot. You very, very heavily want to be base red-green. I feel like if we had access to a red-green fast land in Pioneer, the deck would be so much better. That's like the single printing that can really turn this deck on its head, just like a fast land in red and green colors, but unfortunately we don't have access to that. So what I'm going to be trying out today is Mana Confluence. Actually, I played a league and I faced this deck and they played Mana Confluence. I'm just like, that's very smart. Like that's kind of exactly what I'm looking for, because I tried the Teamwork Tryon and entering tapped has been like too much of a cost. So you will see that all of my lands enter untapped on turn 1. In the past I had a crag, like the red-green check land, and that was the worst land in the deck, and I hated it, but I kind of had to have more red and green lands, so we're going to be trying out Mana Confluence today. The last card is a Singleton Glasspool Mimic. This is both a land sometimes whenever you need it, and also a hit off of Collected Company. You can find, you know, an extra copy of Risen Reef, or like an extra copy of Innkeeper, can be important against Burn, etc. So lots going on with the deck. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to be trying it through a league. The sideboard, don't look too much into it. Like, I'm playing 1 Fry, 1 Abrade, 1 Flame Blissball. You can tell that I'm just trying things out and I'm feeling things out. But the sideboard has been the hardest thing to pin out what the best tools are for the different matchups, or like for the different angles that I want covered. So I have like a little bit of everything, and I have multiple copies of the cards that I legit want, which are Scavenge Genius, Aether Gust, and Mystical Dispute. I'm not even sold on Healer of the Glade. Maybe this card is just terrible. Like I would not be surprised if that's the case. So yeah, don't look too much into it. We are going to fire off a Pioneer League in Magic Online. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And after this very long deck tech, we're going to jump right into the matches. Alright, here we go. Opponent reveals Jegantha. That probably means that they're playing the Sacrifice deck. This hand looks pretty bad. Man, this hand would be the nuts if we had even a single land. Okay. So we're going to keep this, and I think we're going to bottom Elvish Mystic, and we're going to bottom the Hazardous Monument. Yeah, so we have the potential of a turn 3 kill with this hand. We need an untapped red source. Okay. Here's a Llanowar Elf. Fatal Push would be pretty bad for us. They have the push. I respect my opponent's choice of basics. I respect that very much. Innkeeper, that's not bad at all. So this is, now any land off the top is going to give me company mana, which I'm kind of in the business for. So Grixis, interesting. Okay, there's a Fable. Do I want to main phase this? My opponent, they could be playing Censor or something, and then I get super blown out. So let's do this right now. And so this is actually, I'm gonna get Birgi and Grinning Ignis, because I think it's not impossible for my opponent to want to kill the Birgi, and then we just win external if we find any red source. So that was a pretty good company. Really wish that we had access to a red source. Hazardous Monument actually allows us to win, so that's nice. It doesn't net me mana, but it's going to eventually draw me. I play the Monument, I net red mana, that bounces the Ignis, then I can start playing it until I draw the Runaway Steamkin, and then I can cast it for a single red mana, and then from there I can make infinite red, and then from there I just play out the win condition, the witty something. So as is, if my opponent has no interaction whatsoever, we have lethal. which is very cool. Just turn 4 kill on a move to 5. I imagine my opponent will have some form of interaction, of course. But as is, this is a deterministic kill. Opponent Dreadbore's Migraine Ignis, which is the right choice. That's funny. So we're just gonna play Monument, and unfortunately, we're just gonna have to pass the turn. We're 1 mana away from winning. So next turn, we just have to draw. We just gotta draw a red source. If we find a red source, even a Llanowar Elf. Oh, no, actually, no, yeah, a Llanowar Elf would also be lethal, which is funny. A Llanowar Elf would also be lethal. Corpse Appraiser. Man. Great in Limited. Apparently playable in Constructed too. Crazy. No blocks. Take 3. No removal. Red source. So I guess I can play this Risen Reef and I can find a red source. So we're gonna say yes, discard Birgi, Stimkin. So that's basically free. That's a red source. So we're gonna say no. We're gonna put this in hand. Then we're gonna play Runaway Stimkin, and we're gonna make a red mana. Yeah, this is actually just lethal. We're gonna say no here. This is because we're gonna get to draw a card. And I guess we're going to say no to that too. Might as well. And then red. Cast Ignis. Ignis nets me a mana. Now I'm going to make infinite mana. I'm going to draw infinite cards. Opponent discards Nicol Bolas. Say no. This draws a card. I'll say no to that one. And yeah, here we just execute our entire combo. We're netting colorless mana through this loop, but it doesn't really do anything. Opponent says that they concede, which is nice. But yeah, this is just a deterministic kill. We gain infinite life, draw our entire deck, and just ping our opponent infinite times. So, not too shabby move to 5, huh? Not too shabby move to 5. Okay, so how do we want to sideboard against Grixis? I definitely don't want Llanowar Elves. I think we bring in Disputes, probably. Just Disputes and Gusts. While sideboarding like this, we have to be very, very careful to not... Like, right now, we only have 27 hits of Collected Company. So, this is definitely one of the issues that I've been having with the deck, is in sideboarding. Because it's kind of easy to just like want to cut the bad creatures, like for example the elves, and then like bring in spells, and then you're just completely off balance, and your Collected Companies start to just be terrible. So I think I'm gonna cut 1 monument, and I'm kind of interested in cutting a Stimkin for Ooze. Because Ooze seems like it could be decent. So I kind of want a couple of Oozes there. Should we just cut the monuments altogether? This is interesting. Let's bring in like only 2 Disputes, 3 Gusts, and cut a Lifkin, or let's cut an Innkeeper. Actually, let's cut a Lifkin. Alright, let's submit this. Okay, so this hand is great, right? I always have to like make sure that I look and I choose the right one of those. This hand is fantastic. So we can go turn 1 tap land, save some life. Turn 2, we're basically like very much a base red green deck, and blue sources are basically just a splash. But we are, however, in a sideboarded game where blue mana matters a lot more because of our sideboard cards. So because of that, I'm going to be wary. Like, I'm going to wait on this decision a little bit until I have a little bit more information. Like, I definitely want to play the Innkeeper on turn 2 regardless. Okay, so that delays the decision, which is nice. So let's just play an Innkeeper here. If my opponent wants to kill it, whatever. I don't care. I have company mana next turn regardless. Yeah, this is great. Like, my opponent using a removal spell, my Innkeeper is just... It's great for me. I'm somewhat interested. I think I'm gonna accompany this turn on my opponent's end step. Because I think my opponent's just playing a midrange deck. I don't think that they have access to counter magic. Maybe they have Gust. But I think I want to have more red sources. Even though I have a Scavenging Ooze, like, this deck is actually super red mana hungry. Do I want a main phase now? I think I actually want a main phase. Let's play around Gust. Oof, this is so good. Double Recent Reef. Yeah, I could go Reef Ignis, but like double Reef here is so good. Draw Birgi. Would love to see some lands. Nice. Woo! Whoa! That's a turn. That is a turn, folks. Just your casual draw 4, put a bunch of creatures in play. Yeah, yep, take 2. You got me. What are you gonna do, opponent? Notion Thief. Funnily enough, Notion Thief doesn't do anything. So I think I want to play this as a red source. And we can go for lethal. I guess it's not lethal. So I guess because it's not lethal, I want to like go for value 1. So I'm gonna play Ignis, see what my opponent does. But like worst case scenario, I just draw 2, right? If they do nothing about it. This is like the situation where I would love to have access to the mana creature, right? Like the mana creature would be so good here. Because I would just be able to play the mana creature. My opponent's in a spot where they're not really interacting with it. I'm progressing my gameplay in a very, very real way. And I have like, I'm drawing 2 cards out of the deal. That company was just so good. It just put so much pressure on my opponent while also doing nothing at the same time. It was great. Alright, so that resolves. This means that we draw 2. Sure. Oof. Yep. This is my game plan. This is the game plan that we're playing right now. Draw a gazillion cards and like ramp infinitely. Play that land. Also play that one. Wow. We're so far ahead, it's not even funny. These recent reefs are so broken. Like in this matchup, it's just such a crazy advantage. It's such an absurd advantage. Like, what's my opponent gonna do here? Like they kind of need to do something about it, but at the same time, they kind of can't. I'm gonna do like a little bit of a tricky play here. I'm just gonna play Birgi. See if my opponent does anything. Now I'm gonna play Ignis. We're gonna see if my opponent does anything about this. I think they're just saving their removal spell for this, but again, like we draw 2 out of the deal. And one thing that's important to note is the fact that we can cast the other side of Birgi. But at this point, I think my opponent just doesn't have it, and we're just going to be able to win the game. Here, it's free to play the Innkeeper, because it creates a treasure, so it replaces itself when you have a Birgi in play. So this is just infinite, but I might as well just, you know, gain infinite life in the process too. Stimkin nets me infinite mana, which is nice. So, Stimkin. I'm really waiting to draw a Dispute or something. Oh, okay, there we go. Very nice. Very, very nice. The deck did exactly what it wanted to do. Alrighty. Obviously, this is going to be a mulligan. This hand is nice, though. I like this hand. So let's keep this one bottom Birgi, I think. It's one thing that really surprises me whenever I see deck lists for... you know, different lists that, you know, mess around with this sort of strategy. People play such a small amount of lands. Like, it really surprises me because, like, you kind of really want to hit your land drops with this deck. So I really don't know why that's the case. Is this mono green? Looks like mono green. It is mono green. So let's just play. So if I play Ignis, then pass the turn. Following turn, I can make 1 mana, that turns into 3. I basically need to draw a payoff, but that protects the Birgi. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play the Ignis here, actually. Because by protecting the Birgi, what I can do is I can play it as the Horn, which may matter. Depends on how busted this turn is for my opponent, which look like it's gonna be, they have Keurig and Nykthos going on. But if we find something like Roastmaster, we just win the game, so that's cool. Okay, not the most busted Storm the Festival I've ever seen. They did reveal Cavalier of Thorns though, which is so that's a blank. They don't have, so next turn they're gonna have infinite mana though, right? So I don't think, so the problem is if I play the Horn and then my opponent plays Karn next turn, I'm gonna be in a spot where, yeah, I'm gonna be in a spot where I just can't really do anything because like Karn actually blanks the Horn. So do I even want to play the Birgi, honestly? I definitely do not want to play the Druid because if I draw Recent Reef, I can draw a card off of it. Alright, so Kira takes it. This is such a close play. This is such a close play. But I think I'm gonna play this, and I think I'm gonna play the Birgi. And the reason for this is that if I find the Recent Reef off the top next turn, then I can actually assemble lethal. But if I can't do it if I play both in the same turn. Like I actually have to play the Birgi first. Also, my opponent could play a Karn, which would be a big problem because Karn represents just a Damping Sphere, and we obviously cannot go infinite through Damping Sphere. We could draw Boseiju though to deal with it. Opponent taps 6 mana, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're gonna lead on Storm the Festival. They should not do that. I think the play is to play Cavalier first, right? It puts something else on board, and then they get to untap the Nykthos. They make so much mana, it's kind of absurd. But I'm pretty sure it was free for them to play the Cavalier there. Flashback, Storm. It's so weird how Storm the Festival only looks at the top 5 cards, while Collected Company looks at 6. Turn Timber Symbiosis looks at 7. It's so weird. Alright. Alright, so do they need to tap for this? No. Okay, so I guess they can... they're one short of actually making it 2-2. 3 mana. Another Kiora. Okay. Actually, they would have drawn a card from Cavalier. So, like, they should have 100% played the Cavalier. I think they messed up. It was free for them to do it. And now they're 1 mana short. Alright. Let's do this. You gotta hook me up. You gotta hook me up, deck. We're trying to draw Collected Company. Collected Company is very likely to win. Recent Reef is deterministic. Weedy Roastmaster is deterministic. Hazoret's Monument is deterministic. What else? We have a lot of draws that win on the spot. Let's do this. Basic Mount. It's not very good. I guess if I draw a Recent Reef, I guess this doesn't really do. I mean, it's fine. Like it's a good attack because I can just reset it for free, so it doesn't. So my opponent has a free block there, but I can also. I think it's worth for me to play out the second Leafkin Druid. And the reason for this is that if I do find Recent Reef, we're still in good shape, but this actually represents 2 mana next turn. So I want to save the lands in hand so I can discard if I draw the Horn of the Bounty. But this actually represents 2 mana because this is going to... It actually represents 3. 2 from the new Leafkin, and it also gives +1 to the other Leafkin. So I think it's better for me to do that. So now that they have Karn, that is out of the equation. And my opponent should probably go get Damping Sphere. We can still get a pretty significant amount of value. Wait, what? Beginning of your end step, if you didn't activate the loyalty ability, you lose 2 life, and then for each planeswalker you control, you may activate one of its loyalty abilities once this turn is done. None of its loyalty abilities have been activated. Okay. Seems so unnecessary, right? Like, my opponent's already winning by so much. Like, that seems... Sure. Okay, so they can find something else with Karn. Well, I guess that they're not actually winning by so much. Like, they're winning, but not by that much. God Pharaoh statue means that I'm not gonna be able to just win, which is awkward. Why does my opponent refuse to play out their Cavalier, though? I am very surprised. It would have been... Don't they have a Cavalier? Yeah, they just... So they did all the sequencing in the worst possible order. Yeah, because they milled another Storm the Festival. It would have been so much better. Like, they would have had mana to, like, do the Storm the Festival thing again. Yeah, they did everything in the worst possible order, but it's fine. Doesn't matter. Yeah, and now we did draw the Horn of Bounty, but, like, at this point, they have Karn, so I can't really do anything anymore. If I attack Karn, opponent just blocks here and blocks here, so I can't really do anything. So we're just gonna pass the turn. I mean, there's the chance that I can still do something here. There's a chance that I can still do something. Like, it would require for me to get very lucky now, but I can go... Oh, they're gonna flashback Storm of the Festival, never mind. So I think it's just gonna be lethal. But I've actually never seen the Karn combo executed, so that's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, so I could draw like Recent Reef into Boseiju, and then I would win from there. So still not out of it. It's very unlikely, but I'm still not out of the game. Opponent's activating some Planeswalkers and flashing back some Storm the Festivals. Let's see what they find. Oh man, for a second there I thought, maybe I can just play out the other side of Birgi and maybe do something, but no, of course. Now they have... Oh, this is for the entire turn? Oh my god. Alright, never mind. Maybe this card is actually good in the Karn Wish board. It does have a little bit of an overkill feel to it, but I mean, that is very strong. Being able to do that is very, very strong. Like, the fact that all the new Planeswalkers also get affected by this, it's kind of sick. I know whether they're playing or not playing. Opponent's just doing things. Yeah, they could have activated again and they didn't. No blocks. Unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. Let's cast my Birgi. And I'm gonna play my tapped Stomping Ground and say go. Again, we're potentially something very weird can happen, and we may find ourselves in a good spot. Oh, they have Sky Sovereign. Never mind. Yeah, we're super dead. I forgot that they actually had access to Sky Sovereign, so that means that nothing matters. We did. We very did. That's cool. That's cool. Chain Veil actually did some stuff this game. Probably they didn't need it because like I just didn't draw anything. But yeah, so I guess even the Chain Veil, even though like it looked like it did a lot, I don't think that it would have really changed the outcome of the game. Like it didn't make it so my opponent's it made it so my opponent's win was even more egregious, really. That's all that it really did. But it didn't necessarily... It didn't allow my opponent lines that they wouldn't have had access to as well. Yeah, we're just... Alright, seen enough. Sideboarding versus Mono Green. Aether Gusts, Brave. I think I like Flame Blast Bolt, and probably Reclamation Sage. What do I not want? Innkeeper seems a little bit medium and unnecessary. I can probably go down to a single Roast Master, even though it would have obviously been great to naturally draw in that game. Probably not necessary. I think I probably need the elves. Oh, by the way, I didn't actually talk about this, but I'm doing 1 Elvish Mystic, 2 Llanowar Elves because I guess it's technically correct to have 2 and 2. But I only owned 1 Old Border Elvish Mystic, and I didn't want to go through the trouble of buying another one. I was lazy. So cut a monument. So very professional reasonings behind behind my choices. I think I'm just gonna go down to 1 Innkeeper because I don't think my opponent's gonna be able to remove my other guys. Let's go with this. This hand is quite strong. I like it a lot. So let's go turn 1 Breeding Pool, Shock, Elvish Mystic. Turn 2 Recent Reef. Take it from there. We have access to Boseiju, which is nice. Then we're gonna be able to. So effectively, what Green Ignis plus Recent Reef does is it turns your for every red mana that you have access to is one card that you draw. Reclamation Sage. Okay. So next turn we can go Ignis into. That's a lot of mana. A little bit scary. Ignis, draw a card. Runaway Stimkin. Do I want to draw another card? I think so. So next turn, I think that we can. So how does this work? If I play Stimkin now, because I'm short on red pips, so I think it's better for me to play Stimkin now, and then because it draws the card anyway. And next turn I can go play Ignis. 3 mana to play Ignis, another bounce it, play Ignis, and if I have 3 looks at finding another red source. I have here 6 mana is a lot. Oh yeah, so they're gonna fight my Recent Reef and stop my engine. That sucks. So can we draw another one? Okay, so that's infinite mana, but I don't really have anything to do with that infinite mana, which is a little bit awkward. Infinite red mana, but nothing to do with it. So I think I'm gonna play out Ignis, and I'm just gonna play out Botanical Sanctum as I go. So I'm gonna play Botanical Sanctum tapped, and then pass the turn. I don't think I want to expose the Birgi. I'm gonna put 2 counters on this thing, and next turn we can make infinite mana. Sort of surprise my opponent a little bit. Float red, replay this, and we see what I was saying about earlier about how red mana hungry this deck really is. But I think that my opponent is more likely to, if they have another Hydra, they're more likely to want to blow up the Green Ignis. I like how Karn does nothing on this board. Llanowar Elves has been revealed, so a little bit of whiff there. So many whiffs. Yeah, I'll take it. Take 4. So I think this is infinite mana, if I did my math correctly. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. It's infinite triggers, but not infinite mana. So make mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play the Horn of Greed. Discard a card to it. Hey, there we go. Play that. Yes. Blue, green, 1. Play Riff, find a Coco. Okay. So this is a land. Cost me a life, but it's a counter and a land. Either Gust. I think I played my land already of the Horn, so that's as far as my turn goes. So we're just gonna pass it back. The good thing is that we can actually just chump if we wanted to. Okay. For some, that's a lot of mana. So now Karn actually does something, because it kills my Recent Reef. But we have access to Collected Company. Storm the Festival is their last card, of course. I really want to dodge Kiora. Oh, that's a bunch of nothing. Sweet, so I think these... Oh no, they can flashback, never mind. So they can't... They still have another look. But now Karn cannot cast the Sky Sovereign, so this is kind of fine. Never mind. They can just untap here. Let's see what my opponent does, because they may just get something weird here, like a Damping Sphere or whatever. They do have a lot of mana. Yeah, the fact that they also got Kiora is kind of a beating. I think this is gonna make them enough mana. But if they go for the 6-drop artifact, then we're gonna be good to go. Like, do we actually... I guess we don't... No, we actually do have lethal, yeah. Because we can draw our entire deck, and eventually we're just gonna find the Birgi, and that nets us mana. So they can activate Karn again, and they can activate Kiora again. Let's see what they find. Godfire statue. Okay, so that means that we got it. So they're just gonna Boseiju the Godfire statue. Go off from there. And we don't even need this anymore. We drew enough cards already. I wonder if they attack. Okay, so 1, 2. Not that one. That one. We'll load it up. So now we actually have lethal. Opponent should probably just... This is actually just deterministic here. They should just concede. So I don't need to... Like, I can play this company, but that, like, uses mana, and, like, it may whiff. So... But this is actually just deterministic. This is just deterministic. I don't think my opponent understands the combo, but this is just... Last Bull Mimic... It's kind of fun how... oh, actually, we can just... yeah, we can just play the other one of those. That also nets mana. That's actually another way to make infinite mana. I forgot about that iteration for whatever reason. Where's my Roast Master? The Master of the Roast. Alright, I'm just gonna execute the combo and kill my opponent, and I'll continue the recording. Alright, opponent finally got bored and they conceded. It's actually not that many... You don't need to click that much, it's just annoying to execute more than anything else. Should I have Scavenging Ooze? Because of... Because of Stormed Festival. I hadn't really thought about that. There's no way, right? I don't think so. But this hand's very good. Let's keep this hand. Mana Confluence, fixing all my mana issues. Lead on Llanowar Elf because it's the better elf. Always was, always will be. This hand has a couple of interesting things going on for it. My opponent's hand is also very, very strong. Basic Forest has been found. Nice, very nice. So we can abrade the Elvish Mystic. I kind of want to do that. So let's just shock, play another elf, and just kill the Elvish Mystic. So there we go. Could have played Leafkin Druid instead. But with my opponent not playing a dude last turn, makes me think that it's possible that they have a slower hand. And here I'm just gonna play Innkeeper into Leafkin Druid. And the idea here is gonna be to make maximum mana for next turn. Their next turn I can go 1, 2, 3. Like Leafkin Druid coming in clutch here. Yeah, like that shock on the elf ended up mattering a lot. It's effectively a time walk. So 1, 2, 3. Display Monument. Then I can go cast Birgi, discard land. Company's not bad. Because I don't want to discard that one. So we're just gonna pass the turn. Opponent's got a setup going on over there. But we also kind of have a setup going on for ourselves. So we may actually get the better end of this deal. So we're missing an Ignis, and we are just good to go. Like we have the Roast Master in hand. We cut one of the Roast Masters, so we actually cannot, like I can't just play it out. That's why I didn't. Just have to chill on it. But yeah, Leafkin Druid, they are being pretty nice. I wonder if my opponent's just gonna go for Damping Sphere. Treasure dying in there is bad. It is Damping. Okay, not the end of the world, not the end of the world. 1, 2, 3, 4. Company. Float red. What do we got? Another, again, imagine if this were another like Llanowar Elf. Like here we get to draw 2 cards instead of drawing 1. Put that in play. Stimkin. I guess that's just a redraw. Also, it's I guess it's not free to play. Never mind, because there's a Damping Sphere in play, of course. Let's discard that. Redraw. Botanical Sanctum. Sure. So we can't attack, unfortunately. So I guess I just have to pass. Opponent minuses. Yeah, I have to pass. So my opponent's gonna minus and they're gonna get a boat. And they're gonna boat my Birgi, I think. Damping Sphere is affecting them as well. They go for Pharaoh Statue? I don't think that's right. I don't think that's... Oh, maybe it is right. No, I don't think that's right. Because that affects... Yeah, I don't know. 3, 4, 5. Recent Reef. Hazard's Monument, discard land. Draw some cards. There we go. So at this point, is it better to kill the Damping Sphere or the God's Pharaoh Statue? Because if I kill Statue, do I have enough mana to sort of circumvent it? 1 mana to Boseiju, kill Damping Sphere, then 1, 2, 3 mana to Stimkin. That makes a red mana here. I think I can beat this God Pharaoh Statue. Discard Boseiju, blow up Damping Sphere. 1, 2, so that's me a red mana. 2, 3, so this costs 6. Ignis. Glasspool. Am I 1 mana short? I think I'm 1 mana short. I think I'm 1 mana short from winning. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Like if this entered untapped, or I think I could have played through the God Pharaoh Statue. I mean, I can do that next turn, but this costs 4 right now, and I have only so I'm gonna have to pass the turn. So I have lethal next turn. Their card doesn't do anything. I'm chilling at 21. They don't have Nykthos. 4 cards in hand. The bad thing is that we did blow up the Damping Sphere, which means that my opponent's stuff is not taxed, because this only affects me, doesn't affect them. Also, we are very ahead on clock. Weird that they plussed on my artifact instead of plussing on their own God Pharaoh Statue. I guess they're setting up to draw another Karn, but it's not even that good. I think that's game. I know we have it this turn. I do know that we have it this turn, so... Roast Master, 1, 2... Because that's gonna... With double Stimkin in play, this is actually gonna offset... actually, I'm gonna play out the Mimic, because that's gonna make it so my kill is faster. So many triggers, but we did assemble lethal. We did figure out. Awesome. So as I did in the previous one, I'm just gonna assemble the combo and then we're gonna move on to 3-0. 2-0, sorry, not 3-0. Lots of clicking, but we get there. 0. Finish the match. 2-0. Third round against Jegantha once again. This hand's pretty solid though. I'm gonna keep it. Depending on what my opponent's up to, we can go turn 2 Leafkin or turn 2 Innkeeper. Innkeeper effectively guarantees that I'm gonna have company mana, but Leafkin obviously is the higher upside because it just sits in play. Also, it blocks better. Black mana. Okay. So it's this deck. Yeah, they very likely have an answer to my Leafkin. So I'm gonna go for the Innkeeper instead. I'm not gonna take the trade here. This Innkeeper represents much more life that I can gain, which is over with. It's okay. It's not a bad draw at all. So let's play the red side and pass the turn. 4 opponent attacks again. We can company, which is nice. Also, my opponent, it's kind of annoying that their devil triggers off of me cracking my treasure, so that's another incentive to kind of want to get it out of the way sooner rather than later. Double company is not bad though. Sucks. Cat on end step makes sense. We don't really have any ways to work around that. Another oven doesn't really change anything for us. No attacks into my collected company? Coward. No, no thing. It's here, right? Like no devil. It's a massive deal here. This card is so obvious. It's really funny. So I can make a lot of mana. I can mimic for Innkeeper. I kind of like that. And Stimkin? I think this is what I want. Gain a bunch of life. And then we can company again. So if I company into... Let's shock here because why not? So if I company into Birgi plus the guy, like Ignis, this is actually lethal, I think. It's not the worst though. Recent Reef is a hell of a drug. Recent Reef is a hell of a drug. Out of mana, out of options. Really wanting to dodge that devil. If my opponent has a land that they're looking for, yeah, they're definitely looking for a land there. They found it. This until your next turn, right? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that they just have access to the guy. Yeah. So that's gonna destroy me here. Absolutely obliterate me. So that destroys my entire board, I think. They can actually destroy my entire board if they want to. Because they can like sack food and then sack again in response. Yeah, I can't beat the Mayhem Devil. So also we drew terribly. Abrade looks good. Flameless Bolt looks good. Cut the Mystics. Scavenginus looks very good. Innkeeper seem a little bit medium. Rexage seems okay. I have so many X1s, it's crazy. So down to one Roastmaster? Nah. I kind of want the Gust though. I think I want 2 Gusts. Maybe cut one. I actually don't know if I want Gust. I think I actually don't want Bolt. And the reason for that is that the most important card is the Devil anyway. Like the kitty cat doesn't really bother me too much. Cut a Monument and I don't know, cut Stimkin. Maybe I should be cutting another Innkeeper there. Who knows? Who knows? Good. Can't keep it. So I think I want to go turn 2 Stimkin, turn 3 Birgi. I actually don't know what I want to do on turn 3. I definitely want to play Stimkin. Just because to use my mana. I think I want to play the Birgi just so the Stimkin is a 2-2. I feel like making Stimkin into a 2-2 is kind of important. Okay, dude, it's a 2-2 now. So I think they have like the thing where they sack their guy. So this is like a free block for them, I think. So I'm just gonna send. Oh, they take it. Okay. Yeah, Deadly Speed. That's the one I was thinking of. Interesting. I wonder why they wouldn't sack the Epicure. Seems like just having something you can sack is pretty valuable. Futsies. So that's gonna take the Recent Reef, I assume. The good thing is that if they do take the Recent Reef, if I draw Ignis, we just win. So that's the good thing. Sure. Ignis? Scavenginus. Huh. Scavenginus is really interesting. I think we play it. And just pass back. So this is gonna leave in my opponent's options a little bit. Let's see what they do. So they play land. They do play the Devil. But they can't really go infinite. Okay. Fatal Push. Alright. It's kind of a beating. And now they can sack Unlucky Witness. Okay. Oh, they didn't sack the Witness. I'm gonna eat the Epicure right now. So I can make my use a little bit bigger. So now what? Now what? I think... So they can't really go infinite. But... I feel like holding, like these green mana are so valuable right now. So let's play the land, and I think I'm just gonna pass here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass here. We can make Ooze up to a 5/5, which is nice. Opponent can suck Unlucky Witness, they didn't. Feels like they should have. Like they're gonna need to sack 5 things to kill this. Can they even do that? I guess they need to luck suck off of the Unlucky Witness. Yeah, they're just going face. That's one to flip. Holy shit. Yep, you got me. I can't even like grow it because then they actually get 2 food out of the scavenging ooze. Like it's even worse for me. So like it's not even worth it for me to do that. So I don't think I can draw anything anymore now. That was the best possible thing to flip. Probably even worse for me than the Mayhem Devil. Okay, how do we win? So this company is gonna need to be a godly one. That's not it. Definitely not it. It blows up one of these, but it doesn't really get me anywhere. They can just crack their food token and kill my stuff that way. They should probably still crack the other food so they kill the Rex Sage. And then they can send with the Den, which is better than sending with the Hive. Because it makes it do that they can sack to make food. So yeah, we're super dead. Extremely, extremely dead. Wow, this matchup seems nightmarish. Seems like the strat is for my opponent to just not hit land drops. Opponent just does not hit land drops. That's my strategy. Alright. We got destroyed. See you next round. Okay, pretty decent hand. Keep it. So we can go turn 1 tap land, turn 2 innkeeper, turn 3 company. Not half bad. Experiment 1 on turn 1. Oh, this is, I think this is humans. That's such a weird human, man. Like that does not look like a human at all. You heard it here first. Experiment 1 confirmed not a human. Okay, so let's make some red mana here. The keeper is gonna keep the inn. The inn shall be kept. I wonder if my opponent's playing company over there. I imagine they have to, but that's a lot of lanes that don't cast collected company. What's the game plan now, opponent? Hopeful initiate. Very good. Very good. Store target artifact or enchantment. Kind of brutal. So that doesn't trigger my experiment, which is their experiment 1, which is nice. That's a lot of 2/2s though. Okay, so we're gonna take a bunch here. And I guess we're gonna take another bunch next turn, huh? I could play out Birgi. What does that do for me? So if I play out Birgi, my opponent... No, but then we just get so owned by Reflector Mage. I think it's better for us to company and just hope that we get a little bit lucky. If we find... oh, they're gonna go for Reflector Mage. Well, good thing that I didn't do the thing. Actually, let's wait for them to target here. And then I'll company, because then maybe my opponent will find something better to target. Okay, so I'm gonna gain 3 life. I'm gonna gain 2 life, sorry. Gain 2 life. Man, this is a lot of thinking. I'm gonna take 3, 6, 9. This can't attack, so this doesn't matter. So this is 9, 10, 11. So my opponent cannot assemble lethal. But I have Ignis plus Roast Master. And that's lethal. They're tapped out. They have only 1 single card in hand, so they can't have a land plus something else. So I think this is just lethal. Wait. Yeah, I go to 1. I go to 1 because the Mana Confluence deals me 1. So I was thinking if I should like Recent Reef instead. No, but Ignis Roast Master is lethal. It's exactly lethal, actually. Had I been at 1 less life, I would have lost this game. Which is, only makes things even funnier. But yeah, Initiate can't serve. We take 11, go down to 2. Play Confluence, play Birgi, play Confluence, go Infinite with Ignis. Oh, training! Oh no! Reading the card explains the card, I guess. Wow. So that's Xaxis now? 3, 6, 9, 7, 8, and 11. Wow. That's kind of insane. That's kind of insane. Okay. Oh, but I think this is fine though. So we play Birgi. Play a land. Play that. No. Yeah, we actually just... Wow. I think that we're 1 mana short. Well, I guess I don't have the Roast Master anymore, so never mind. We're just dead. Wow, that training got me good. I totally forgot about the training. So I could have gotten... Instead of getting the Roast Master, I could have gotten like a second Innkeeper. Yeah, the line was to get second Innkeeper and Ignis. That would allow me to gain 1 more life. That means I can chump, and then I just go off with Birgi. Because I play the Birgi. Yeah, so I miss lethal. I play the Birgi, that gives me the life that I need. Then I play Mana Confluence, and then I just gain infinite life. My opponent can't beat infinite life. So I should have won this game if I had known that what this card does. So that's on me. That's very much on me. Should have won this game. Okay, that's removal. That's removal. Is this removal? Fry? Does that count as removal? It's pretty bad removal. Got a couple of Steamkins. I think in a matchup like this, because infinite life is good enough, we can cut 1 Roast Master because it just doesn't matter. I don't think this is a Healer of the Glade matchup. I don't think my opponent is going to be attacking in smaller increments. This is more for like mono red. Honestly, I'm not sure this card should be my sideboard, to be clear. Keep this in. I'm not even sure that card should be my sideboard, to be honest, because it can be very, very awkward. And I think that it's possible that it should be something else. Like, I still... The decks in Pioneer are, with the exception of specifically mono red, the decks in Pioneer are not more... They're not very cheap shotty. They're very, like, chunk damage. So, yeah. I wonder if they have Thalia. Thalia would be kind of a beating here. They do. Well, that answers my question. Okay, so let's play this and play my Ignis. So next turn we can Company. But I think that it's better for me to just bounce Ignis and then Company. Thalia Heretic Cathar. Well, creatures and non-basic lands. This is basically free. That's not true. So play that, bounce that to hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Collected Company. Okay. Mystic Reef. Any order. Draw Birgi. And play my dude. That's the turn. So next turn, we just gain infinite life. So my opponent's gonna need to stop what I'm doing somehow. So I'm gonna draw my entire deck, gain infinite life. I don't think they're gonna be able to beat that. That doesn't do it. Pretty sure that does not do it. It definitely looks like my opponent's not gonna concede to this. So play. And this is actually just lethal because of I have another basic in my deck, and that other basic is gonna enter untapped, and then I can use that to cast one of my... This is gonna be a lot of clicking, but we do have a deterministic kill. So we're just gonna find the other basic, which is a basic forest, and then we're gonna crack the treasure plus the basic to cast Stimkin. That's gonna give me my infinite red mana. After I have infinite red mana, we find our single green Ignis. No to this one. Play it out. Get that out of the way. Upgrade. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna do the same thing. I explained what the kill condition is gonna be here, so we're just going to do what we did the previous times as well. All right. So opponent indeed concede eventually after they saw the win con, which is nice. Appreciate it, opponent. Thank you for that. Game number 3, and what are we gonna do here? I think this is fine. We got some nice little interaction. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna submit the same. Okay. This is a hand. This is most definitely a hand. Opponent moves to 6. So turn 1 removal, and then just a bunch of things. Okay, that's something to play on the way there. Also, that's company mana, funny enough. Best thing can happen is my opponent plays a Thalia here, because that just tells me not to waste this Flameless Bolt. Okay. So we're just gonna take 2 and oh, nice. So yep. This is worse against what's his name? Like if my opponent does have Reflector Mage, like this is pretty bad for me, but like it's so good otherwise. Looks like they took the Reflector Mage though. Oh, okay. That's not super bad though. Ignis. Okay. So that allows me to double spell actually. Wait a second. Yeah, that allows me to double spell, which is nice. So let's see. Hopeful Initiate. That's fine. Another Initiate. So that's a lot of damage. Is it enough though? So we block here. We take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then I can find... What can I find here of the company? We need to find Birgi. We need to find Birgi. Oh, this also turns this into a 2/2, which is nice. So this can block. I think that's fine. I think this is the line regardless. Down to 4 we go. If I go Innkeeper Ignis, what if I go Ignis, Bounce, replay Ignis? No, that doesn't work. 2 to Innkeeper, 3 to Ignis, that doesn't work either. So what am I looking for? Like this is so much pressure. Next turn I can chump. I guess I can draw a Risen Reef into land, so I'm supposed to do this main phase. Birgi Druid. Okay. Am I dead here? I'm exactly dead, aren't I? I'm exactly dead. The worst kind of dead. Yeah, I'm exactly dead. So punished by the mana confluence here. Yeah. Punished by the mana confluence. Like this card is so much pressure, that's crazy. But yeah, my opponent just needs to like right click attack all. Think about it too much. Maybe they'll leave some stuff to block. No, they don't. Sadness. Alright, see you next round. Okay, last round of this Eternal League. Hand seems fine. Turn 1 tap land, turn 2 Steamkin. Red, white. Huh. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, so I hope we're not dead. The weird thing here is that Birgi doesn't really do anything for me. Nice. Oh, that's so sick. That's so sick. Wow. Well, this is gonna grow completely out of proportion so quickly. Jesus. I guess I'll take 10. Maybe more. Just 10. So if I play Birgi, I'm not doing anything. So I guess I need lands here. So we're just gonna play a Recent Reef and see what happens. It's not a land. So I guess I should have played Birgi. No trample just yet, so I can chomp with the Steamkin, I think. Yeah, my opponent's digging for the Ancestral Anger here. Throw a dude under the bus. That's, oddly enough, kind of nice. So, play Birgi, play Llanowar Elf. I can also play Ignis, hope to hit a land. I can play Lifkin and Elf. No, but that doesn't really do it. I think the play is just Birgi plus Elf. No Reef triggers here, but like we have a chump blocker, and we just have to dodge Ancestral Anger one last time, and then we have lethal next turn. Holding Reef back to block because it's free. But yeah, like if they find Anger, we lose, and if they don't, we win, most likely. Okay. Yeah, that's very bad for me. That's right, this deck also has removal. That's kind of messed up. So I guess I bring in all the removal. And this is what I was saying about Healer of the Glade. Like, this card doesn't really do anything here, right? Don't think I'm gonna have too much time for that. once again, Infinite Life is effectively game over, so no need for Roast Master. Maybe just go down to one Stimkin. Yeah, maybe this card should not be in my sideboard. I just don't think that that's a card that Pioneer cares about. The aggro decks in the format are very, very different. I'm also starting to feel, well, not really. I was gonna say like maybe we want to be playing more dudes, but like I'm not even sure that's the case. Do I want to shock on one? I think I do. It represents something like, it turns out I do have it, but I'll get rid of it. I can play probably Lifkin or Innkeeper. I think I like Innkeeper. Gives me more options for next turn, depending on what I draw. Yeah, the double striking guy is a lot scarier. So play Mystic, say go. Yeah, it's kind of a beating. I probably have to just take this because I'm not taking lethal this turn. Yeah, I mean, definitely very, very punished for Flame Blessing the Swift Spear. I think it was still correct because of how my curve looked like. So if I play double Druid, this makes more mana next turn. Actually, let's just play Birgi, I think, and attack with Innkeeper. There's the potential here of drawing Recent Reef, and if I do draw the Recent Reef, then I do want to have access to Lifkin, because these represent more draws. And I don't think I really need the mana that much right now. It's more of a matter of I need the cards. So, discarding Reckless Rage. Okay, going for lethal. Interesting. Gonna block here. +4/+0 and trample. That. Okay. There is actually the Recent Reef, but I guess now it doesn't really matter because I'm dying to the thing anyway. Untap Green Source allows me to like go off a little bit more here. Tap Green Source. So guess we're dead. +4/+0 and trample is 16 at least. Yeah, just pro green and lethal. Yeah, this deck is legit. This deck is legit. All right, started off really strong, but then the wheels fell off pretty badly. I still think that there's something to this deck. I think that it's very strong. The issue that it has is I think it's just unplayable in Magic Online. Like, this league took me 3 hours. Like, obviously you're watching the edited version of the league, but the matches are long, and if your opponent is just like gonna make you click through everything, it's so time consuming that I unfortunately don't think that I can continue playing this deck. Like I'm probably not gonna be making more content on this deck, unfortunately. I think I'm interested in building it in paper, but testing is I'm gonna have to figure something out as far as testing goes. But I really liked the lands. I do think that playing 23 lands is necessary. However, I don't know what those lands are. Like, we were punished by Mana Confluence a couple of times. Like, we actually lost because we had Mana Confluence in our deck. Against the Humans deck, I guess both of our losses were because of Mana Confluence. I guess that I didn't read the card and I punted away a game, but still, like, it's one of those things where like this card does punish us, even though it kind of fixes what we're trying to do. Besides that, I really want a red-green fast land, man. Like, I really do. Like, this configuration feels like takes care of our colors. Like, I didn't feel particularly color screwed during the league. There was a couple of times where I was missing red a little bit, but it feels like the numbers at least should add up. Like, we should have access to solid amount of color. But the cards that I'm not super sold on are the second and third Steamkin. Now that we have access to Hazoret's Monument, it feels like we just need one of these. We don't need more than that. I did like the Monument. I think 2 is the number that I want. I don't think I want any more than that. There's also the possibility of doing this and turning the Leafkin Druids into 1-drops. that would make our recent reef worse at the cost of making our curve a little bit better, because we're going to be able to go turn 1 into turn 2 3 drop. Not only that, but also turn 2 like 2 drop plus we don't have to shock, so we can take care of our life total a little bit. So that is definitely something that I'm thinking about. Witty Roastmaster does still feel like the best win condition, but I do wonder if the Devilish Valet may be the better win condition in MTGO exactly, just because it's a lot less clicks. So as stupid as that may be, maybe we just have to do that, which is very silly, but gotta do what you gotta do. The sideboard, I'm not sold on at all. Like, this card definitely should not be here. Like, these cards should not be here, so we're gonna cut these for something else. Don't know what it is, but yeah, I think that removal is maybe a little bit too important in Pioneer. So in certain matchups, I'm gonna want to have access to multiple pieces of removal spells as opposed to just 3 total. So that's definitely something else to think about. But then when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you keep your company hits in a healthy number. There's a lot to juggle with this deck, but it's been a ton of fun. It's been a ton of fun, except when my opponents don't concede. but yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button if you're interested in coaching, if you're interested in supporting the stream through Patreon or through donations at PayPal. You can find all the information you need in the description of the video down below. There we go. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.